Well, I encourage the Chinese government in Beijing to call them about that because they heavily depend on the Straits of Hormuz for their oil. If they do that, it'll be another terrible mistake. It's economic suicide for them if they do it. And we retain options to deal with that. But other countries should be looking at that as well. It would hurt other countries' economies a lot worse than ours.
That was U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio there telling China it should ensure Iran keeps the Strait of Hormuz open to shipping. Beijing, meanwhile, has criticized the U.S. strike on Iranian nuclear facilities, saying again that it's willing to join international efforts to restore peace in the Middle East. Let's bring in our China correspondent, Minmin and tell us a bit more about that Beijing response.
Yeah, Beijing's response has been very consistent. It hasn't really changed. It's condemned Israel's attack. It's also condemning the U.S. attacks as well. There is a Global Times editorial criticizing the U.S. for escalating tensions even further, even though China has previously called on the U.S. to do more to calm the conflict. But I guess hitting these nuclear sites in Iran is not their vision of calming the conflict. And in fact, the Global Times editorial is saying that U.S. is escalating the level of weaponry being used by using these bunker buster bombs to achieve what Israel cannot. And Iran is likely to see that as an act of provocation. It's going to cause the conflict to possibly even spill over to the wider region, and that's what they are deeply worried about.
Minmin, the topic is also being discussed widely across social media. Could you just give us a glimpse of what the sort of more pertinent ones are?
Yes, this is very interesting to watch because people are discussing this very widely on Chinese social media. In fact, the top trending hashtag on Weibo today is that Iran has set an example for the rest of the world. And the gist of the comments there, they're all saying that Iran essentially is quite naive in some ways to believe that the U.S. is a trustworthy party here. And here's a comment that says, first, Iran was deceived by the U.S. into some negotiation which made Iran lose its vigilance. If we can flip back to the previous post. And then it was attacked by an American ally. It was resisting the attack. Iran had hoped for mediation from the U.S., but soon American bombing arrived. So it was all about how Iran is being squeezed by the U.S. And the lesson here for many Chinese people is that these appeasement tactics, they don't work, and only by fighting resolutely can you protect your own sovereignty. That's the lesson that many Chinese people are taking. But that said, China does have this long-standing policy of non-interference. So China is unlikely to wade into that conflict unless its direct sovereignty is being threatened.